Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to BBallBreakdown. While I'm on vacation, I wanted to sneak in a couple of breakdowns, and last night's Mavericks Thunder game had some good stuff to go over. Let's first examine what Mavs coach Rick Carlisle wants to get done on the offensive end in the half court and why it kept the Mavericks in the game. Obviously, Dirk is the key for them, and they feel they can take advantage of Ibaka guarding him. After a little misdirection, this becomes a simple isolation post-up, and if Ibaka is going to be this bad on defense, the Thunder are going to have to come up with a double-team defense in a hurry. Next, the Mavs run horns with Dirk and Pachulia at the elbows. Look how Ibaka simply will not leave Dirk under any circumstances. Deron Williams knows this, and Adams is too slow rotating down to protect the basket. Dallas utilized the Dirk ball screen out top quite a bit last night, and what it gets him is a free run to the basket area against the hedge of OKC. The Thunder do a nice job to contain this and force Devin Harris into a near travel after another ball screen, but the Mavericks have nice flow to their offense, and check out Kevin Durant on the weak side. He is guarding Anderson, but so completely loses track of him that he gets confused and thinks Cantor's man Mejri is his. Nice cut, even nicer find, and the Mavs get the layup. A nice wrinkle out of the Dirk pick and dive is when they curl him around a pin down on the right side. If OKC wants to hedge out like this, they'll be trailing Dirk every time, and he should get his pick of shots. This time, it's a Dirk inside ball screen that gets him rolling and very deep post position. Good rotation by Cantor to help, but it's too late. Dirk is simply too close to the basket and he gets free throws. Again, Dirk screens high while the Mavs are spread three across the baseline. The Mavs catch the Thunder's team defense out of position. Felton could have kept getting deeper into the lane. On the kickout, Matthews tries to find an opening, but good recovery by Durant. The offense continues to flow into another attack with, you guessed it, Dirk screening the ball. This time the Thunder switch it, leaving Russ to guard Dirk. The Mavs waste no time getting Nowitzki the ball, and there isn't much Russ can do. Here's a play they ran to perfection against Miami in the finals 5 years ago. A double ball screen with Dirk as the first screener. When Pachulia dives, he collapses the defense, giving Dirk a good look at the three ball. The Mavs vary their Dirk screens. This time it's an inside screen on the right side. Watch him sprint to the block, stop, then turn around and get a pin down from Felton, the original ball handler. As everyone keys in on Dirk, Deron Williams is turning the corner while Adams is way out of position. The Mavs had their pick of shots here, Dirk on top, Felton in the corner, or D. Will finding some magic with the teardrop. Here's another little favorite of mine. Watch how Felton cuts to the hoop only to veer off and screen for Dirk, who's coming fast to ball screen. Now Durant is a step behind the play, rushes to get back there, but ends up on the wrong side. Nice slip by Dirk to the rim, and if you give up paint touches to Dirk, he knows what to do with it. Into the fourth, and again, the Mavs screen Dirk's man so that when he goes to ball screen, Ibaka is a step behind the play. Cantor shows some energy on defense to rotate early, but Mejri dives into the paint. Dirk will find this every time, and now it's full scramble mode for the defense. Great pass by Mejri to West in the corner, and it's an attack on the catch right to the rim for the tough layup. Up by three, watch how nonchalant Russ is on defense. Just walking backwards, not in a stance, not ready, and he's completely caught off guard on this screen, and Felton can hop into a wide open three. Mejri sets another good screen, and Russ and Adams fail to communicate. As Felton snake dribbles to the top of the key, Russ is underneath Mejri, Adams is 6 feet off the ball, and it's an easy 20-footer. Now, let's look at how the last 4 minutes unfolded. Down by 1 and reeling from a 10-2 run by the Mavericks, getting a great shot is vital for the Thunder. Adams gets away with a football block on Felton, but rather than attack Mejri, Russ settles for a 3. This is a guy who shoots below 30% from three-point land, taking this with a big guy on him and 15 seconds left on the clock. Adams saves the day with the aggressive rebound, and the Thunder can't really get into a set quick. They've got to bring it out by half court and reset everything. Durant does a nice job to get into the middle of the paint, and while Harris closes out okay, he doesn't get a hand up, but Waiters can't knock the open jumper down. The game is now tied, and on the sideline out of bounds play, a simple sprint to step-up screen for Russ gets him going downhill. Nice crossover, good contest by Mejri that forces the miss. Felton is trying to box out valiantly, but is no match for Adams, who puts it into the toilet bowl before rolling it in. Down 2 on a simple cross screen out of the baseline out of bounds, the Mavs get a switch of Adams onto Dirk. Felton misses the layup to Mejri, but gets it into Dirk, who goes to work on the ISO post-up. Watch Ibaka get sucked into Dirk's orbit. Gorgeous cut and pass for the Mejri layup, but even more impressive is Ibaka jumping to challenge Dirk, then springing right back into the play to block Mejri's shot. Wow. I love Mejri's hustle to keep it alive, but Dirk drops this shot 3 feet short. Yikes. Up 2, I get it. You want to run clock before running a play, but it's not exactly like they're running a play that will help generate a good look. Just a step-up screen by Adams for Russ, who finds Adams rolling. The pass didn't quite lead him, so I guess it explains why Adams decides to pivot in the air and land with his back to the basket as a non-threat. This allowed the Mavs defense to get back in position, and watch KD dribble the ball off of Matthews' foot. As Matthews grabs it, we see no sense of urgency to get back on defense by the Thunder. While it's hard to see, it's Dion Waiters who was in that left corner, and he's way too slow sprinting back. Devin Harris takes advantage with a simple sprint up the floor and a layup when Ibaka is still afraid to leave Dirk. So here comes the Russ KD pick and roll that works so well for them. The Mavs don't switch this, they rightly go underneath the pick, and Felton angles Russ away from the rim. Russ is simply going too fast and out of control, and while Felton might have gotten away with a little push, Russ has to know that the refs tend to swallow their whistles in late game situations, and going up laterally like this gets you nothing but a very difficult off-balance shot, and this one flies out of bounds. The screen for Dirk is blown up nicely by Ibaka, and so the Mavs flow to their secondary motion from the set. A strong ball screen by Mejri with Wes Matthews in the strong side corner. The Mavs are hoping they can get Durant to help one pass away and open a shot for West from 3. And that's exactly what happens as KD gets too handsy, loses track of West, but they dodge a bullet when this wide open shot misses. Now the Thunder do the Russ Durant pick and roll on the right side of the floor, and they get a switch, with Felton guarding KD, who's a foot taller than he is. With lots of time on the clock, KD opts for an old standby, the Dirk leg fadeaway, but because of how stagnant the offense was, it allowed Matthews to get over there and bother this shot a little bit too. It misses, and the Mavericks are in business. It's still tied at 81, and if the Thunder play the clock right, it could be a 2-for-1 for them. We'd seen them run this play before in the regular season, and I was shaking my head then even though it worked. This time, the score is tied, and I have a hard time believing they ran this for a player who shoots less than 30% from 3. In the pressure of the playoffs, these shots don't tend to fall. Certainly, they could have gotten something much better. And because the shot was taken with 9 seconds on the clock, Dallas now has the 2-for-1 if they want it. But watch how slow the defense is in setting up. Russ is literally walking out there, not in a stance, and by the time he gets ready, Felton is crossing him to the rim. Adams does his best, but it's a layup with time for one more possession for the Mavs. Can you hear me shaking my head? With the baseline inbounds, the Thunder run a good play to get KD a back screen at the right block. How did Russ miss KD wide open for the layup on this? He's staring a hole right through him. Adams gets away with another brutal cross block, and KD gets an open look but can't knock it down. Adams keeps it alive and gets it right back to Durant. Credit Matthews with the hustle to get over there and try to bother him. Another bad miss, and as the loose ball bounces back to the perimeter, KD inexplicably tries to grab it and pass it in midair. Matthews comes from out of nowhere to knock the ball away, grab the loose ball, take off down the court, and hit the clinching layup. The game should be over at this point, but when you have Durant on your team,
nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
This play got screwed up a little bit on the spacing as Adams didn't finish ball screening before Durant was already trying to use him as a screener himself. But it works, and Durant knocks down the 3 to cut it to 1. Again, no problem. The Thunder aren't even in the bonus and have to foul twice. Felton gets to the line for 2 free throws that should seal the deal and promptly misses them both. To make matters worse, he goes after the offensive rebound on the second, leaving him completely out of position to get back on defense. With no timeouts, the Thunder have to get down the court quickly and look for the game-winning shot. The Mavericks also can't afford to foul and give them the game on free throws. Great play by Russ to get it into the lane and give it up to Durant, who promptly jumps off balance and has to toss up a bad shot. Russ tries the tip, and then Adams puts it back in for the win. But the refs reviewed it, wave it off, and the Mavericks have suddenly and improbably evened this series. While the Thunder will very likely win this series with an overall talent advantage, let's not forget what Rick Carlisle did with a similar bag of ragtag veterans against an equally formidable foe in 2011 and almost did it to the Spurs in 2014.